Syracuse, the local station. You're watching News Channel 9 at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Christy Casciano.
And I'm Jeff Kulikowski. Syracuse Police with a very rare reminder and warning about riding illegal dirt and motorbikes and doing it recklessly.
So it's a direct response from what officers saw during memorials for a 20-year-old who died over the weekend after being hit by a car while he was riding an illegal motorbike. Joining us now is Syracuse Police Chief Joe Cecil to talk more about this. Chief, what were some of the things that your officers saw?
Well, we were seeing burnouts in the middle of the street, middle of the intersection at Fayette and Salina, and then reckless driving, the wheelies, the, multiple people on a bike, just everything you could think that's reckless on a motorcycle that's not legal was being done. And in that intersection, I guess in honor of the individual who died, and we understand that. We wanted to be compassionate when we sent that email out and that Facebook post out to be, sensitive to them coming down to that intersection and honoring their member of that club they're in. But we just can't tolerate that because you're going to have another tragedy. Either one of them is going to get killed or even worse. And I say it is worse. If an innocent bystander that has nothing to do with their club is struck by one of these vehicles that are up on the sidewalks, that's another thing we saw, driving on the sidewalk at high rates of speed. We're not going to tolerate it.
So what are you doing in response?
We have a plan that we put in place just this morning. That starts tonight. We actually started it yesterday to see what was going to happen yesterday. Not very many illegal bikes showed up last night or last evening, but tonight we have a large group of officers. Thursday we're going to have another large group of officers, and Friday we will have another group of officers that will be dedicated to simply that intersection.
So take note. I mean, this is, while sensitive, this is a warning of we will not tolerate this and we will be out there.
Yeah, because it's a public safety issue. I mean, they're either going to get injured or they're going to injure someone else. So we will be out there, we will be ticketing, and we will be towing these illegal bikes. Again, with all sensitivity to the individual who passed away, we will be towing these bikes if you're going to be at this intersection doing wheelies, doing burnouts, and putting other people in danger.
All right. Now, we've talked about this before, but worth noting, the stolen car problems seem to be slowing a bit, up 25% now compared to the same time last year. It was up 50% 2 months ago compared to July of 2023. So seeing a little bit of a slowdown. But we understand while many car owners are helping, some are not. Tell us what's happening, what car owners are failing to do.
Well, some of them are failing to use the steering wheel lock. We have found vehicles, recovered stolen vehicles, where the steering wheel lock is in the back seat.
Not going to help.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to help back there.
No good back there.
And again, I don't think all of them have gone down and had that upgrade. Though some of them have, and I think that's having some impact. But you have to be proactive. Here's one thing I can tell you after 40 years. Whether it's stolen vehicles, burglaries, drug activities, or gang violence, the only way you solve that, sustainably solve it, is through partnerships with the community and the police. There was a statistic several years ago, which I think has only risen, that Tony Borelli put out from the Neighborhood Watch, that showed that you were 70% less likely to be burglarized if you lived in a neighborhood that had an active Neighborhood Watch group. And that's huge, because people are always watching their neighbors. Their neighbors are watching your house, and it makes you stronger if you work with the police and work with each other.
Chief, I'm curious. Software upgrades, one thing. Maybe you don't have the time to get to the dealership, have it done, whatever. You guys are willing to give out free steering wheel locks. How many are you sitting on, though, still? People just are not coming to get them. How many do you have? A few? Dozen?
A few dozen, yeah. I'd say that we have upwards of about 800 left.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Free, right?
Yeah, they're free, and we're actually we have officers now on what are called our power days, where we have extra officers are actually going to houses where we know people own Kias and Hyundais, and actually knocking on the doors and giving them. So we're going door to door with these things now just to give them out.
And in case you don't show up at someone's door, how can they get one?
Come right down to the public safety building, right at the front desk. Say, I'm here to get a steering wheel lock. Someone at the front desk will go out, pick one up, bring it back to the front desk and get it for you, give it to you.
Wow.
Yeah. I do want to say, too, that some of these stolen vehicles that we're seeing more recently are juveniles that are going into homes, occupied homes, stealing the keys once they step inside the house. Many people keep their keys right inside. And you shouldn't have to hide your keys. I understand that. But they're going right inside the house, grabbing the keys and stealing whatever cars they can get, sometimes leaving with 2 cars out of the driveway.
How they getting in the house, Chief?
Well, it's been warm, so they're not kicking the door in or anything like that. They don't make noise. They go in through an open window or an open door.
Okay.
So.
All right, and the kids who are doing the juveniles again, right?
They are juveniles.
Same group?
It's a group that, not the same as the stolen vehicles from a year and a half ago, but it's a group that we're well known, we know very well. In fact, we arrested 7 of them for 19 burglaries just recently, and they were not just in the city. They were in the town of Geddes, town of Salina, Liverpool, all over 2 counties away, where they broke into some gun shops to steal guns. But we have 7 of them, where we arrested 7 of them for 19 different burglaries.
Are they back out?
6 of them are right back home.
What does that tell you?
Well, it tells you that we need to have some type of system in place. And I understand the laws, and no one wants to see a bunch of young people go to jail. But what needs to happen is there has to be something on the other end. When you take something away, you have to put something at the other end. And that other end has to be probation, ankle bracelets, some type of accountability on the other end, or they will not stop.
Changing gears quick, city auditor, I think just a week or 2 ago, put out a report. You were with them at the press conference to try and help you with some of the staffing issues you're facing, the difficulties with recruitment. What are a few of the things that the city auditor recommended that you're already doing, and then what's next on the list to get done?
Yeah, sure. So the 10-hour day was huge for us. We put that in play, and it's helping us a lot with call loads and call responses and things like that. We've drastically improved our officer health and wellness program, the alternative response to mental health illnesses, which we started well before this Matrix study. The deputy mayor's been on board with that. We've got Liberty Resources out there taking calls for us. I'm trying to rack my brain right now about the other things that we've done.
I know some of the suggestions were, kind of moving some of what I guess were considered more civilian type things, not the robberies, not the things like that, to kind of a whole new division, I guess, within SPD. Is that something you'd work on? It's probably a longer term kind of thing, right?
It is longer term. So it's a good point, though. We have civilianized many roles in the police department, property, records, things like that, where we used to have officers. And we use now civilians to do all those roles where you don't really necessarily need a gun and badge to do it.
Don't have to go through the academy, things like that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to ask you this question, because we certainly got a lot of calls about the stuck truck, East Brayton and Seneca Turnpike. It was there for more than a day. What took so long to remove that truck? Why was it so difficult?
Yeah, so the turbine that was on there that shifted and caused that truck to just shut down, couldn't move anymore, was I don't know how many tons. But we had to get a crane there to pull it off, and you can't get a crane there in just a couple minutes or a couple hours, so that's what took so long.
Okay, clears that up. Last one for you, and we certainly don't want to see you go, but we've been hearing that when the mayor's term limits come up at the end of next year, that you likely will also be retiring as well. True? And kind of how's that decision, how'd you come to that decision?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Yeah. And if the mayor allows me to stay until 2025, the end of it, as it's up to him, I'll certainly be happy to walk out the door. All good things come to an end, and when I say good things, I don't even mean myself. I mean the time that I spent at SPD. It's all been good. I've loved every minute of it, but I've worked under 6 mayors now and 12 chiefs, it's just time for me to step aside and let some young folks that are there. We have some great deputy chiefs, some great captains and lieutenants that I know will advance this department in directions that I haven't even thought about. And I'll be happily waving and clapping and cheering from a hiking trail in the Adirondacks while they're doing it. But it's just time to go. And it was always the plan to leave after this mayor, after Mayor Walsh.
Yeah. But your experience is valued and appreciated, so it came at just the right time for Syracuse Police Department.
And you're not going yet. You probably still got a good 15 months or so to go, so thanks.
And lots of work left to do.
And the mayor too, so hopefully we'll get 2 more academies in before he leaves.
Good.
Let's hope so. Syracuse Police Chief Joe Ciso, thanks for covering so much ground with us tonight.
Sure, you're welcome. Thanks.